The fall of the Dark Knight has never been this brutal. Absolute Batman faced his worst enemies, survived countless battles, but nothing could prepare him for what happened now. I'm Andrew the Geek Master, and in today's video, we'll be telling the most intense story of Absolute Batman so far, where he was betrayed, beaten, burned, and humiliated. To not miss stories like this one, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started. The chapter begins in the past. After the incident at the zoo, young Bruce was taken to the hospital after being bitten by several bats. According to Dr. Tompkins, everything is fine, and this should be the end of Bruce's relationship with the bats. However, the truth is that the incident with the bats left a permanent mark on Bruce. With the death of his father, something changed forever, and the bats would never leave his life. In the present, Absolute Batman speeds through Gotham City on his motorcycle. In the last chapter, he made a deal with Black Mask to stop bothering the Party Animals gang, but now it's like he's provoking them to attack him and break the agreement. Still, the gang just watches him. Bruce is heading to meet someone, and Alfred watches him closely through a tracker. His contractor says they already have everything they need and that Alfred can leave. However, while answering that he's leaving, Alfred stays exactly where he is, observing Batman. At the same time, Martha Wayne meets Jim Gordon, who suddenly apologizes. Martha thinks he's throwing in the towel for the mayoral race, since Commissioner Harvey Bullock is backing the opponent Hamilton Hill. However, Gordon isn't apologizing for the election, but for the zoo incident and the memorial light. Every year, a beautiful tribute is made in memory of the zoo incident that killed Bruce's father. But this year, due to the Party Animals gang, that tribute wasn't done. Gordon recalls that at Thomas's funeral he told young Bruce that his father was truly a hero, just as Bruce would be. Gordon also explained that the zoo would be demolished and something new would be built in its place, so Bruce would never have to look at it again. Back in the present, Batman is on top of a building, waiting for Black Mask at the meeting point they agreed upon. It doesn't take long for a helicopter to approach rapidly. Alfred, who's observing from a distance, notices that Bruce is tense, when suddenly, Black Mask descends from the helicopter with his henchmen, saying that he's going to make Batman rich. When the villain says he already sent the money to Batman's account this morning, Batman responds that he knows and has already used all the money to do something for himself. To explain exactly what Bruce did, we get a flashback to the day Gordon talked to young Bruce. Bruce said he didn't want the zoo closed. He wanted them to do something so everyone would look at him, something that would shine. For a long time, the zoo was turned into a memorial, as we mentioned earlier, but this year, Bruce planned something different. He presses a button to burn all the money Black Mask gave him to create a spectacular display. This pile of money forms a huge bat signal in the sky, making everyone look at him. Representing many readers, Black Mask says that this bat is ugly, and then he warns his gang that the deal is over. He orders his men to kill Batman, and indeed, several gang members rush toward the hero. While all of this happens, Bruce explains to Roman that he doesn't need cars, planes, or computers. He doesn't need anything Roman has. All he needs is Batman. He begins to fight the gang members, and the result is devastating. Bruce uses his suit's resources to violently hurt the thugs, piercing the bodies of several of them. He punches, kicks, cuts, and stabs, and when one of the thugs, whose hand Bruce severed earlier, jumps on Batman's back, seeking revenge, Batman simply releases spikes from his shoulders and back that pierce the villain violently. With the thug pinned to his back, Bruce continues to beat the others, turning the area into a pool of blood. Finally, Bruce removes the spikes, throwing the thug he pinned to the ground, then starts listing all the crimes the gang has committed, not caring how many people have died. Black Mask responds that he's right. He really doesn't care if anyone dies, and to prove it, he orders his snipers to shoot. Surprisingly, the snipers start shooting at the gang members, leaving Bruce stunned at what's happening. But this is actually part of Roman's plan. He knew Batman would try to save them and get distracted by it. And then the snipers also shoot nets that wrap and trap Batman instantly. Roman begins to taunt Batman, saying that everything is fine in front of him and he could have achieved all of his dreams. Even though he's trapped, Batman reaches out to try to grab Black Mask, but as we saw in previous chapters, Black Mask is an expert in wrestling, so with a simple move, he breaks Batman's arm. Still, Bruce believes he got what he wanted. Everything Roman confessed here was sent to a news center, and everyone will know the truth. But Black Mask doesn't care about that. He continues hurting Batman, taunting him more and more. He claims Batman isn't a hero and that none of his actions will inspire people. One of his henchmen, who looks like a purple alien child, simply burns Batman with a flamethrower, while Roman again says that Batman isn't the protagonist of this story. The only hero in this story is money. Another Black Mask henchman rips the bat symbol from Batman's chest, which is actually a huge battle axe, and delivers a massive blow, throwing Batman off the building. This would definitely be a deadly fall, but the absolute Batman suit once again proves to be super prepared. It turns out that Batman's cape turns into a kind of parachute that cushions his fall. As if that wasn't enough, when Bruce starts getting up slowly, he's suddenly chased by a police helicopter that informs all units of Batman's location. This starts an insane chase. The helicopter shoots at Batman, and the explosion injures him even more, but he keeps moving. Officer Barbara Gordon also arrives at the scene immediately and accidentally runs over Batman, even knocking off his mask. With Batman down, the officer exits her car and points her gun at the hero, ordering him to stop or she'll shoot. But Bruce, still hiding his face, tells her to shoot because he won't stop running through the sewers. Since Barbara has been helped by Batman before, she lets the hero escape. In fact, when the Central asks if she saw Batman, she responds that she didn't. Later, Black Mask does a live broadcast to speak directly to the people of Gotham. He shares a bit of his origin from when he grew up on a pig farm, and his job was to kill them when the time came using a pneumatic gun. Usually, one shot was enough, but on rare occasions, the pigs had certain spasms, not from pain, but from pleasure. He later found out that this only happened if the shot hit a small spot in the brain called the hedonic center, which is the main pleasure center. He uses this analogy to say that the same thing is happening in the world. The big players killed the world a long time ago, and they continue to enslave the people with the promise that everyone is still alive. But the truth is that people don't live. They just survive, while the big players continue to enjoy all the money people generate with their work. Ordinary people struggle to maintain a system that does nothing for them, and Roman insists that people ask themselves why they're still doing the right thing while the system does everything wrong. Meanwhile, Bruce is in one of his hideouts, completely hurt, full of injuries, and in a lot of pain. Alfred appears and asks if Bruce has any idea of what he did, to which Bruce responds that he put a tracker on Roman's mask. So Alfred just needs to help him close the wounds, and he'll handle the rest. However, Alfred tells him to go to hell. He used to be a field medic and knows 100 ways to patch up Bruce's body. But he will never help Batman again because he made a huge mistake today. And Alfred warns him that what happens next is Batman's fault. Then we cut to Gordon and Martha, still listening to Black Mask's speech. He says that all dreams, progress, history, and truth are dead. He asks everyone to admit they're dead and relax, to live in that tiny second of ecstasy and pleasure, like the pigs he used to kill. In the streets, boxes are being handed out to everyone, and when Gordon opens one, we see that it contains weapons and masks from the Party Animals gang. Roman warns that since Batman refused his invitation, he now offers the entire city the opportunity to join him. He also says there are hundreds of millions of dollars, and all people need to do is put on the masks, grab a weapon, and go after all the money they want. Well, Gordon is shocked, as they realize that many civilians in the streets have accepted the offer. They've taken their weapons, put on their masks, and now the party in Gotham is about to begin. And this is how Absolute Batman fell. And this time, the defeat was brutally intense. His body may heal, but his spirit was broken in a way that has never happened before. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Absolute Batman's defeat and how you think he'll come back. If you want to find out what happens next, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Thanks for watching, and until the next adventure.